Alright, well, I'll catch you later, Zero. Oh, awesome. Have you been watching Steven Universe, Steve? It's really good. Okay, so we're in the next area now. Whoa, that's a little bit of a jump. Actually, there's something down here. Ow. I thought there was something more down here. Ah, okay, Steve. Yeah, it's really good. It's really, really good. I guess I could be part of it. Could be part of it. High Roller. To me, I did go back and watch a few new episodes of it here a while back. I don't know. I do think it is different humor than what it used to be. It's not like there's a different pacing to the show, and just like there's a lot of differences. I mean, like that's gonna happen when you get different writers and everything like that. This area is really different. Yeah, it was Stephen Bond this week. So yeah, it was really, really good. Maybe, I don't know. I think all the, I don't know. Like to me, like all Adam Sandler movies are bad because I just don't like him. So, you know, this is what it is. Ow. Okay, don't blow those up. Also, if you're expecting quality Kero Blaster play, you are in the wrong place. The animation, I noticed it, like, I haven't watched, like, the most recent stuff, but, like, some of the animation is, like, really, I will say, like, Simpsons was always, like, really well animated, and, like, it's always been something that's been really well animated. I did notice, maybe it was just a byproduct of it being part of the coach gag, but they, like, they very much tweened, like, not even the 80s part of it, they tweened, like, the part when it's, like, Homer on the couch, and it looks so weird, because it looks so cheap compared to how The Simpsons is normally animated. So, I don't know if the series has moved over to tweened animation or not, because I haven't seen it in a while, but if it has, it's, like, really, really ugly right now. I was like, whoa, that was really weird. Let's go this way. Get into the safe. Money! I don't know if I should drop down or not. I'll hold off. It is really, like, the lines are really, like, really, sharp. Ow. Okay, I gotta stop doing that, because that'll get me killed. And I did again. Pardon me. But, yeah, Steven Universe, really good. Also, the fact that Steven is 14 really blows my mind. I had to laugh, though, because they do kind of make a joke about that, because they're like, it's like, oh, you haven't aged at all since you were, like, 8. And I was like, I thought he was 8! So, that was interesting. Just, like... I had regrets once I jumped off. Oh crap. It's a little bit trickier than like Cave Story and Jetpack, because Jetpack and Cave Story, oh my god, I'm so like, my brain is so fried today. It's a little bit different than the Jetpack and Cave Story, because you're really committed when you use like the jump, and you really like pushes you forward. You can't move back once, yeah. So I'll be making some weird jumps. It doesn't. No, frog, no! I'll be making some weird jumps just because, well, I played a lot of Cave Story, and I do feel like a lot of the game is comparable in feel to Cave Story, but it does its own thing here and there. Yeah, I'm actually looking really forward to watching you play Dark Souls. Oh, there we go. Oh, jeez, he's throwing bombs at me. There we go. Get an extra life. Oh. This seems kind of easy. Oh, that was easy. Remember that time? Yeah, I remember that well. Oh, Kero. Dark Souls is so good. So good. Bloodborne's so good. I do feel like here's kind of my personal feelings about like newer Simpsons episodes, and people are free to disagree with me on this, but I do feel like the problem with newer Simpsons is the fact that they do boil characters down to just like their sort of gags. I feel like older Simpsons actually did have plot development on characters. Even Homer to a certain extent. As the series like progressed, like even though Homer didn't necessarily carry over a lot of development from episode to episode, you know, there was something there. It wasn't always just, oh, he's a big, you know, doofus. There was still something more to it. Bart really, what is it? Bart really has, he isn't the, like, yeah. I found like there's very few things with him in, new episodes. He's no longer like the center, like, child character, which was often, well, I shouldn't say that, because Lisa also really had a lot of stuff. Had a crayon in his brain. Well, you're free to disagree, High Roller. I don't know which one of these I want. Bart is annoying, and I think actually the show is very self-aware of that in, like, not the most recent seasons, but, like, when it was starting to, like, dip off a little bit, I do feel like they were aware that Bart annoys people. And that's probably a good thing, because it's like, he does annoy people. Yeah, let's go with the Star Mine. Who? Who, Steve? Uh-oh. This is slightly different. But, I don't know, like I said, I haven't watched Simpsons in a long time, so I don't really have any place talking about it. But anyway, so I think the plan is I'm going to try and beat most of Kero Blaster ASAP, and hopefully finish off Titan Souls. Both aren't really what I consider long games. So, right, of course, Steve. Of course. I guess? I guess you could say that. I would have never thought of that, but... But it has been a long time since I've played. Coincidentally, we were talking about this in another stream, too. It's been a while since I've played Final Fantasy 4. High Roller is not a Final Fantasy 4 fan. Coincidentally, we were just talking about this yesterday, too, on stream. Was just the fact that Final Fantasy IV, it was mostly about the fact that High Roller didn't like the fact that it has as many remakes as it does. It's alright. I think it's just a very, like, if you want a very standard, like, Final Fantasy, like, archetype for a game, 4 is a really good example. Without saying 6, I guess. Ow, whoa, I guess I got hit by it still. Hey, it's this guy again. I like this guy, he's like the world's laziest enemy. Sits at his desk and throws books at you. Also, might I add, these areas are quite... They're similar, but they're still kind of different. So, it's kind of interesting. There we go. Well, Final Fantasy IV does kind of go all over the place when it comes to, like, that sort of thing. It's not strictly what I consider medieval, but, it's something that, here's why I think 4 gets a lot of attention that, like, 6 doesn't from Square, and I think it's often a case of they know that 6 has a lot more room to fuck up than 4. Like, there's so many things they could easily do wrong to screw up 6, which they've successfully done. And by successfully done, I mean they've successfully screwed up 6 before. So, whereas 4 is a little bit easier to, like, get a handle on. It's, Yeah, I know what you mean, I generally don't like that in writing, either. Four is, like, sort of like the first Final Fantasy game, in my opinion, that has, like, sort of the depth that the later games were really about. It was sort of like the first Final Fantasy game that was really a Final Fantasy game. If that makes any sense. Some people would argue 2, but I kind of don't feel like 2 hits the right, like, tone or pace or characters or anything, really. I'm not a big fan of 2. It's paint by numbers, but it's also, like, sort of the, like, shell for what was to be, like, what was coming. Okay, so this boss is a little bit tough. I'll do my best here, but this might be a little bit dicey if I can actually, like, beat this thing. I know I had a hard time beating it before. Also, welcome back, Rebutler. Okay. There's like a specific... Ooh. Oh, jeez. Oh, whoa, crap. Okay, we did it. That wasn't as bad as it was on hard mode. On hard mode, that was, like, much tougher. Two, I will admit, I haven't played through 2, like, in full. I've played parts of 2. Personally, I won't lie. 2, the game bores me to tears. It's literally, like... I don't even know how to put it. It's really, really boring. That's awful to say, because I do feel like it has potential. It's just maybe if I gave it another chance, I'd enjoy it more. But I guess what I was saying was, like, 4 is kind of like the first Final Fantasy game to really have, like, the archetype of... It's like the prototype for every major Final Fantasy after it. Final Fantasy 6, Final Fantasy 7, I guess you can say 8, 9, 10, whatever. Like, it was a more plot and story, or like story and character driven thing than Final Fantasy 1, 3, and 5, which were all was it miserable? I probably would hate it then. 1, 3, and 5, which are all more built around the idea of like mechanics and giving the player kind of freedom to do things. 5 does have like some story going on. It's not a great story, but it is enjoyable on certain levels. Oh, our warp didn't work. Uh-oh. Oh no! Things are escalating. Alright, into the snow. Alright, let's fight this fridge. I have to admit, I don't like winter areas in games, but I actually like this area a lot. This is, like, kind of a good example of an ice area, or snow area, that I do like. That said, this version of it's going to be slightly different because we're playing Omake mode, and I haven't played it before, so... Okay, so... Oh, really? Oh, that's awful. See, the main thing I know about 2, the main thing I know about 2 is that you attack your own party members. Attacking your own party members is like the best way to level up, because it's based on the actions rather than enemy experience. So attacking putting like every enemy to sleep or something and then just attacking your own party members is like really, really good. So that's how like a lot of people cheat the system in 2. But yeah, no, 2 is kind of like... You could say 2 is really like the first one. I guess like 5 if you want, because it's really plot-based and really character-based. But to me, like 5 is the first one that really stands out. 5 was sort of... The problem with 2 is that it's still like really like heavy-handed with its plot. It's like really political. It's really complex from what I understood. Whereas 4 is kind of accessible. It's not a super tough plot to understand. It's simple concepts that help make it accessible to people. 8, 9, and 10 are romance focused. Well, I don't know about 8 because, like, I don't know if you can romance like a stick in the mud because he's like Rinoa and Squall. Like, you can say it's romance, like, it's, like, literally, like, is, like, the most grinding, hard to, like, mentally like, I have no mental capacity for, like, how that is romantic, because Squall is, like, the most uninteresting, like, angry, dull person ever, and Rinoa seems to have, like, it's just like, well, it's what happens when you have like a writer and they're like, I don't know how to write a character. We want we need a romance. This is the character. She is the romance. Squall is a piece of wood. That is literally what he is like a block of wood. 9, I will agree, there is like a love story there, but I do think, and me and White were talking about this on stream yesterday, 9 has like a lot of stuff going on. That's a game that deals really heavily with life and death and some really like heavy concepts, so I don't feel like a romance there. It's not just about a romance, because like there's a lot going on in Final Fantasy IX's plot. You can say it's like romantic, but I don't think that's like just the only thing going on. And as far as 10 goes, 10 is a ghost story. 10 is a ghost story. A romantic ghost story, but a ghost story nonetheless. I do think Final Fantasy IX's love story is better written. I will agree, it is more organic. It is also better written than what 8's is. 8, like, man, like, I've watched a little bit of 8 again recently, and man, that game, I don't know what I was thinking when I was playing it, because this seems like a tough thing to do. What do I do here? Oh, I can melt these. Of course, it's ice. They're 10 is a ghost story. And can a ghost story be a romance story? I don't know. Yeah, I watched Sam play a little bit of Final Fantasy VIII. Man, I don't know what's going on in that game. At all. Like, it's really confusing to me. I remember playing through the game. I don't remember liking the game, but I remember playing through the whole game. But it's just like, man, why are they, like, jacking a train? Like, they're trying to save the president, but the president's a zombie president? I don't know anything that's going on anymore. It's funny because, like, you don't think of certain things. When you get older, you think of when you look back at certain things, you're like, oh, it's so obvious, like, certain things were this way because of this. It's like what we were saying yesterday on stream about Lulu's design in Final Fantasy X. It feels really apparent to me now that it's like, this was just a design that they had made, and they were like, this is a really good design, but they hadn't, like, this was still when the game was in its early stages, so they hadn't really had the tone of the game yet. Because she is, like, so, like, jarringly out of place for, like, the rest of the cast. The rest of the cast is, like, sort of, like, beachwear, and she's, like, full goth. And it's, like, I mean, like, it's a great design. I will definitely not, like, Lulu's design is spectacular, but it does not mesh well with everything else in Final Fantasy X. But then the president turns out to be a zombie, and yeah, like I know you can, like, there's like reasons for it, but it's still, like, weird. Well, to be fair, yeah, I know kimono isn't beachwear, but, like, everyone besides, oh god, I'm getting, like, wrecked here. There's, like, definitely, like, a summer lean to, like, the way characters are dressed in Final Fantasy X. And they're really, like, not holding back. There's, like, this is really different from the previous difficulty. And it's actually really hard. Oh. That was really close. I almost blew my cover up. Oh, shit. I ate that one. Yeah, see, White gets what I mean, right? She's at least a little bit out of place. Ow. Crap. Stupid icicle. Yeah, and the thing is, you know, I don't think it's necessary. Oh, God. They're throwing these spikes in just the right spots where it's like, you have to, make sure that you're not over jumping. That's also true. That is also true. High roller. Okay, I'm really glad I invested in the flamethrower, because this is helping out a little bit. Okay, let's not over-invest here. But it is something that, like, the overall theme of the game, like, it's a more summery Final Fantasy game, if you can call it that. I don't think that's, like, a wrong, like, look at the game. Like, if you think about how often you're at beaches and on the ocean in that game, it's actually quite often. I mean, the game definitely has, like, a theme of, like, the water. I will say Final Fantasy X does actually have a really good color palette. I did enjoy it. It's a very colorful game, especially I'm not saying 9 isn't good, just that it wasn't always super colorful. It's a little bit drab at times. Mostly because it mostly takes place in a desert, but you know. Alright, so let's see if we can fight this guy. Oh, oh. This is a little bit different, but I wouldn't say it's harder. I guess I'm inclined to say hard mode might be harder than this difficulty or this mode. But But this is definitely very different than hard mode. Too much sand in 9. That's like... and me and White were having a conversation about this yesterday. Oh, sweet, I can get my jacket. Me and White were having a conversation about this yesterday. About 9, there's like a lot of wasteland in 9, and it's not super appealing. Those are the nicer looking areas in the game though, White. Like, the problem is like the amount of time you spend in those areas versus the amount of time you spend in the wastelands and just sand and boringness. It feels like it's so much of the game. Like, it's such a large portion of the game. Alright, we got a lot of money. Figure I might as well upgrade to Melter. Whoa! I love it. And let's get more hearts. Because why not, right? Okay, this should be handy. Okay, this is pretty different. Oh man, Kero Blaster's so good. If people are looking for a good platformer on Steam, I highly recommend this game. It's so good. Yeah, and that's the kind of the problem. Like, I understand, like, on like a writing level, it's like, well, the idea was they want to make, you know, they want the world to be wastelands outside of the kingdoms and stuff, which, you know, makes sense on paper. That's fine, but when you actually play something like that, it's like, oh, there's like nothing here. Ugh. Oh wow, I'm amazed I made that. But that said, like, or I guess, like I was saying though, when me and White were talking about it, I wouldn't mind going back and playing 9 again, because I'm curious how I would, how it would go over for me. Because it's been so long since I played it. I remember not liking the game very much when I finished it. Like, I did recognize that it was more my personal, like, playthrough of the game that was likely a big factor in why I didn't like it, but it's something that, yeah, I'm kind of curious if, like, going back, if I would enjoy it, if I would enjoy it more. Yeah, and I definitely went through that. Like, I think 12 was, like, the last one where, like, I got in, like, I started, I could not, like, beat it. Like, it was just, I was so tired, it was so long. Like, it was just so taxingly long. And ever since 12 really put me off JRPGs for a very, very long time. It's only been quite recently that, I've even, like, considered the idea of playing one again. Yeah, 12 kind of is strange. Ooh, this is a nice area. Ooh, treasure. I want treasure. Yeah, 12 also is very much desert. I don't know if I ever seen anything that wasn't desert in 12. I assume there probably is areas that aren't desert in 12, but I never got that far. I'm not kidding though, like I played 12 like 100 hours and I never saw anything outside of the desert. Oh shit. Okay, whatever. Actually, I shouldn't say that. There was like a wetlands area that I remember seeing, but I was only very briefly there. In 12? I don't know, White. You might not be remembering that right. I'm trying to think. I will say this about 12. I will say this about 12. Fran is superb. And she has a superb booty. I agree. Fran's one of my main characters in Record Keeper. She's amazing. And 12's actually another one I would like to go back to at some point and try. If they ever release like 12 HD, I might actually check it out just because I feel like it might be a game I might be more mature for and have the time for now. Oh, Ash was hands down the main character. Like, I didn't even get that far in the game and you could tell that. Like, Van is so, like, hucked to the side as soon as you get Ash. Like, Van is just not... No. I feel... You know what it is? You know what it is? I feel like Van is, like, an executive decision. They were like, we need a young male protagonist to appeal to people, but the game was already far enough along with the idea that Ash was going to be the main character that they didn't... They just didn't. And this is what you get. This is what you friggin' get. Oh, great. This is what I get. I don't know. Van and Pinello. Oh, God. Not a big fan. Ow. Oh, crap. This isn't good. Ah, oh, jeez, I'm getting branched off in the wrong area. Okay. Jeez, really? Okay. Let's chill out right. Damn. Ow. Ah, jeez, really? I'm getting a real raw deal in this one. Oh my god. Oh my god! Well, of course it's gonna, like, shoot at me. Yeah, I never tried 13, unfortunately. I'd kind of like to also try 13 at some point here. 13 I know has gotten a lot of flack though, but I'm just kind of curious. Like, I'd like to form my own opinion on it. But so I don't know what Final Fantasy game I'll like check out, but I will eventually check out one. Ooh, perfect. I'll probably, well, I guess technically probably the next one I'm gonna play is like 10, just because I actually have it available to me right now. 10 or maybe 7. I was kind of debating either of them actually. There we go. Not really a hard boss, I don't know, I just kept on getting hit. Oh, the phone. Somebody gotta get the phone. I got the phone. Oh no! It was a trap. To the train station.